Awesome. What's up, everyone? Welcome to Piece of Peace. I am here with a very special guest, Mr. Henry. So, Henry, say what's up.
What's good, people? How y'all doing?
And so, I'm going to actually let Henry introduce himself a little bit. And so, Henry, if you can just go ahead, just tell us where you grew up, some of your passions, what you do now, all of that good stuff.
Yeah, man. What's it called? Henry Harrison, military kid. So I was born in Virginia, moved to Georgia, then came to Hawaii about 10 years ago. What's it called? Just been, and ever since I came to Hawaii, like dance has always been my thing. I've like danced like out the womb, my mom said. Cause, me and my friends, went ahead, we're running a faith-based nonprofit dance studio called Treasure Box Studios. Shout out to Treasure Box Studios. I also do the hip hop department for another Christian studio in Kalihi called Prince of Dance. I got my givers, coming to the dance ministry from First Assembly of God. But yeah, it's a lot of stuff, a lot of dance, and a lot of movement.
That's crazy.
That's yeah.
You're involved in like 3 different dance groups, studios, but it's so cool to see like how dance can just bring people together, right? And so I even learned something new right now. I didn't know you played drums and did all that stuff. Like that's super cool.
Oh yeah.
And so how long have you been here in Hawaii?
I've been here since 2009, so just over 10 years now.
Yeah, so just over 10 years. Cool. And we actually met in high school. And so you're a couple years older. And so I led the Christian club there, and Henry and his siblings were part of that for a little bit. So super cool, man. And so we're gonna part of this segment is really just allowing people to share like their real fears, and some of the things that they're just going through, and some of the fears that kind of just plague their lives. And this is going to be like the relevant portion, like this is where people is going to really hear themselves, I think, through what you share. And so we're diving into the deep end where we want to know, what are some of the things that you in your life fear, and it could be out of this season, but even just in general, or just the season of life that you're in right now. What would you say are some of your fears?
Unfortunately, I'm not working right now as far as financially assisting in the accounting sector, which was like some of the main pool of my money. I'm able to do a little bit of work with dance, but because of that, as everybody knows, if money doesn't come in, then the bills aren't getting that much attention, and that's kind of scary for me. It really is. And considering that artists and artistry in the field of entertainment is really changed during this time, it's very scary. It's very scary to see like how I'm supposed to be able to provide for myself. You know what I mean? So, I'm 24, and I'm really hoping to be able to move to a spot where I'm like legitimately able to solidify, like get my debt out the way, be able to get my own place, you know what I mean? Have my job, be able to support like all the needs, get a car. Currently I have a girlfriend, so like of course like years down the road, but really thinking about do I want to have a family in the next 5 years? How can I get a family happening? You know what I mean? So there's a lot of things that this pandemic kind of like brought along, and then added on top of ministry and leadership and stuff like
that. We kind of talked the other night, and I think like a cool thing that kind of came out of that conversation was you sharing about some of the things that brought you peace, and if you can kind of just go through that, like what is that story, and like what did that kind of help you put into perspective some of the things going on right now?
Yeah, man. Shoot, that conversation was what's it called? Going into stuff. I for me currently right now, it's very scary. It's very, very scary because I'm really trying to figure out how I'm supposed to get things done. And when you got bill notices that are coming in, things are about to get switched off because you literally don't even have the money to be able to take care of it anymore. And your job security is literally like out the window over the course of a day. It's really hard to like live with that stress. I think the story was actually Jesus was asleep in the boat, and the disciples were like freaking out. You know what I mean? Right. They were just like, "Oh," I was like, "Yo, the rain's coming down," and Jesus was like hitting straight beats like off to the side. And then they wake him up, and I was just like, yo, Jesus was like all chill, you know what I mean? Like super like relaxed inside the side part. And then you have these disciples that are just like, there are things happening right now, and we could like, this could be it. And I kind of like am moving from the side of the disciples to Jesus. You know what I mean? I'm currently in that path. I don't feel like I'm gonna die, but I also don't feel like what's it called? I'm in the best spot right now. You know what I mean? And that I don't see where it's gonna get better, but I know, and I feel like it's just going to get better. You know what I mean? So that was kind of like that thing. It's kind of like I like what you said a little bit. You said what's it called? The main difference between the disciples and Jesus is that where the storm was.
Yeah.
For the disciples, the storm was like within them, you know what I mean? As well as outside. But for Jesus, the storm was only outside. And I was like, God, I need the storm to come out of me and keep it going out there. But like, you know? So yeah, dude, it's still really tough to really kind of go through that. But I have this story to tell. I don't think I told you yet. But Monday, my car dies. I need to go to a class on Wednesday. I take off on Tuesday, and I'm just praying. Recently, someone's been talking to our family. They're like, "Oh, we just bought a house. We just sold our house, and we were going to sell our car. And if you guys want it, you guys can have it, but for $3,000." And we're like, "Oh, snap! That's a great deal for the car because she maintenance it and everything like that." But we did not have $3,000 cash. Like me and my parents, like we just weren't able to. So on this Tuesday, I was prepared, man. I like had my whole day set out. I wasn't gonna do anything but just pray and fast and be in the presence of God and wait for an answer. So I get up at like 8:00 in the morning. I'm like praying, and like by like 10, 11 o'clock, he's like, "I got you." And I was like, "Okay, all right. I don't know what that means. I need to clarify." He's like, "Don't worry, I got you." He's like, "All right." And then I tried to pray some more, but I like it didn't feel right to continue to pray about this thing after I already got the answer from God that said, "I got you, taken care of." And I was like, you know what I mean? I was prepared. My whole day was like set apart. I was like, you know what I mean? And then I was like, "Okay, cool." So I like went to the kitchen and ate. I didn't feel any conviction, and I was like, "All right, cool." So yeah, so I'm playing video games. My mom comes home. I'm talking to my mom, and then I was like, I prayed to God today. He was taking care of it. I don't know how he's taking care of it, but it's just stuff. And my mom was like, so I got a call at around 11:30 noon today from the lady with the car, and I was like, oh dang, all right. So what did she say? Is she able to do a payment plan? Are we able to like kind of like get some payments going for the time? And she was like, no, she's just gonna give us the car. And I was like, wait, she's just gonna give us the car? So yes. And I was like, whoo, you know what I mean? Yeah. So like, I was just like, yo, and I like that like right there, it was just like God was like, I literally took care of it. There's no need for you to petition anymore because it's already been done. And I didn't know about the phone call until like 3 hours later. So yeah, and it's kind of like the same circumstance now. God, I feel like God's like taking care of things. I haven't got like it's completely done, so I'm still praying, and you know what I mean. But that's kind of like where I'm at right now, you know.
Yeah, well, I think a good takeaway too for a lot of people is that like God is gonna show up, and he's gonna give you like little boosts to kind of keep feeding your faith. But if you're not looking for those things, like you're gonna miss them, you know. And I think the more that you miss it, the more that you start to feel like the weight of like, hey God, where are you? What's going on? And all this stuff. And I think like even with the story that you shared with Jesus sleeping in the boat and his disciples, like I think people got to really understand that is like the main thing about peace, right? Like peace doesn't mean that there's no storm. It was that like differentiation and just the things that set the disciples and Jesus apart was that Jesus had peace because the storm was on the outside. Just because you're in a storm doesn't mean that the storm needs to be in you, right? And so he was in the storm, but the storm wasn't in him. The disciples were in the same storm, but the storm started to come within. And and that's when they started like freaking out. We're gonna die, and Jesus is over there chilling, sleeping, and like that's a true like sign of peace. And I think people mistake it that peace means that there are no storms, you know, but just peace really means that there's just, you're not allowing the storm to be within you. And that's why I love your background with dance, because like we can oftentimes pray prayers like, hey God, take this storm away from me, God, take this and fix this, God, do something here, where sometimes our prayers need to shift from what we want God to do with our circumstance to more of, God, can you allow this circumstance to change my perspective? You know, instead of changing the circumstance, change me, and going from God, take this storm away, to God, please give me the courage to dance in the rain, really, you know. And I think that's so fitting for what you do. And so in fact, even right now, I want to play the video that you sent me, and we're going to put it in right here, because I asked Henry to put together kind of like a TikTok-ish dance video of peace, so that people can either just watch it or they can try to learn it just by watching you. And so we're gonna roll this clip.
Got me like, yeah, way up in the skies, like, living my time, just trying to get my life right. My God never fails, so I'm heading to the tail. Living for the King of Kings, what do you think this is? Got me like, yeah, it fails, so I'm heading to the tail.
I can't dance in the rain like that. And so I think a practical, you know, I think it's going to be great for people to actually put some action to like our words right now. And so you're like a professional dancer based on even that little clip. I mean, I can't even do that first move. I can't even walk in just with a hoodie. Like I can't. But what is like a simple dance move that you can teach me, and even just the people watching, that like when storms come, they can just start jamming out, even with a simple move, to really tell the enemy, hey, the storm's not within me, I'm dancing in the rain.
I bet. We gonna rock with the City Rock. Now with the City Rock, what's it called? It has a nice, good swag to it. It's a nice, good 1, 2, 3. So we'll be able to like get through this. You know what I'm saying? So traditionally, you just take your hands, act like you got some spoons, like right here in your hands. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna lean forward. 1, you're gonna lean to the side. 2, and you're gonna swipe them up. 3. You know what I'm saying? When life troubles start coming your way, just be like, you know, you dodge out that and what? Get out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
You dodge it. You're dodging it.
Yeah, exactly.
Dodge it.
Yeah. yes. There we go. Yo, you rocking with it, dog. You rocking with it.
Well, what is that called?
The City Rock.
City Rock?
Yeah, the City Rock.
All right. I'm going to call it the Dodge It. The Dodge It. The storm's not in me.
You know what? Yeah, you know what? Rock that. However that goes for you, dude.
Hey, well, thank you so much, Henry, for just your encouragement, even just your testimony of the things that God's doing. I mean, he's definitely showing off in your life, with, you know, answered prayers. And so he's going to see you through. And if you're watching, he's going to see you through as well. And so just remember that you can be in a storm. The storm doesn't need to be in you. And we can have the strength to dance in the rain, to dodge it. All right, I gotta stop doing it. I'm embarrassing. I'll leave the dancing to you.
No, you good, dude. Rock with it. All right,
Henry. Well, thanks for joining us, and I'll talk to you later.
All right, dude.